Hello and welcome to RIT SportsZone. I'm John DeTulio.
And I'm Kristen Clack. In their first season as a member of the Liberty League, the RIT men's lacrosse team won a share of the regular season title and earned the top seed in the postseason tournament.
RIT hosting Clarkson in the Liberty League semifinals at RIT Field. The Tigers escaped with a 2-goal victory against the Golden Knights in the regular season, but they had no problem with Clarkson this time around. Warren Allister scores his 9th on the year to put the Tigers up 3-0. RIT scored the first 6 goals in the game, including this one by Tyler Russell. Tigers won easily 12-4. The Tigers moved on to the Liberty League Championship game to face Union, the team they shared the regular season title with. Second quarter tied at 1. A.J. Tingle with the feed to Tyler Russell in front, and Russell scores one of his 3 goals on the day. RIT led 2-1. Anthony Deo had a big day in net for the Tigers here, making one of his 12 saves. RIT led 5-2 at the break. Third quarter, RIT on the attack. Jordan Collins, Hartwick rifles one into the back of the net as RIT went on to win 8-6 to capture their first Liberty League title.
So what was the mindset going into today's game?
I guess the same as any other game. You know, the guys needed to be focused today and understand the game plan and stick to it and be disciplined, and I thought we did a good job of that. We hustled, we came up with ground balls, and to be honest, that's been the key to most of our games.
Our mindset was basically come out of the gates quick and take it from there, and then hopefully our momentum would carry us to the end.
We knew it was going to be a really tough one. We just knew that if we played our game, RIT lacrosse, that we would win this one, and we were fortunate enough to pull it out in the end.
You know, it was a close game last time. We know they're really defensive oriented, and we knew it was going to be a low scoring game. The final 8-6. Last game was 10-4, so we didn't expect to come out here and put up huge numbers. So we just had to bury our shots and take care of the ball.
You know, they played St. Lawrence to a really good game the other day. They came back and they gave us a run for our money today too. So we knew that it was going to be a tough one, but we knew if we worked hard again that we would win it.
You had a really great game today. What do you think went particularly well?
I don't know. I think my game is I rely a lot on other people to get me the ball. I'm mostly around the crease, so I was in the right place at the right time. Got a couple goals today. I was just trying to help out the team any way possible.
And how do you feel winning Player of the Year for Liberty League?
It's pretty humbling, I guess. I never really thought it would ever happen. My coach actually texted me the other day and said congratulations. I didn't know what he was talking about. I said, what do you mean? He said, you haven't heard yet? I said, no. He said, well, you got Player of the Year. So I was completely shocked, but it's definitely a good feeling.
And as your first year in the league, did you ever expect to make it this far?
Certainly one of our goals. Yeah, certainly one of our goals. We wanted to make our mark the first year here. It's a great league. We're happy to come into the league and get our first championship, and hopefully we'll have many more to come.
This is just one of our goals. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to win the national championship, and that starts probably tomorrow, to be honest. So, that's our next step. Keep playing one game at a time. Hopefully, we get another home game, and we'll take it from there.
As champions of the Liberty League, the Tigers earned an automatic bid to their 3rd straight NCAA tournament. First up for the Tigers was New England College, and this was a mismatch right from the start. The Tigers set an RIT NCAA tournament record with 18 goals, including this one by Jack Kristen. RIT advanced easily with an 18-4 victory. Second round action, RIT hosting Western New England. Second quarter, Western New England takes the lead as Adam Napton scores. It was 5-4, but RIT would come back. Thanks to the great effort here from Jordan Collins Hartwick. He scores his 26th goal in the season to put the Tigers in front 8-6. Second half, RIT would pull away. A.J. Tingle nets his 25th goal in the year. RIT wins 15-9 and advances to play Tufts in the NCAA quarterfinals. Well, still ahead on SportsZone, 4 former Tigers skate their way to the pros. Plus, she's back on her feet again. We'll share how this runner overcame a major obstacle to get back on track. You're watching RIT SportsZone in high definition.
Anthony Deo didn't make the men's lacrosse team his freshman year and saw limited action last season, but that didn't seem to discourage the Canandaigua native. Deo returned this spring and not only earned the starting job, but has since delivered a sensational season. Were you recruited to play lacrosse for RIT or were you a walk-on?
I was a walk-on my freshman year. I contacted the coach and told him that I wanted to try out for the team, and I just came out first day and showed up.
But the first time you tried out, you didn't make the team. How did that impact you?
Well, my freshman year, I came out and I got let go, I think the weekend after our annual inter-squad scrimmage. And Coach Kuhn told me that he would like me to try out next year, and I just kind of put that in the back of my head and worked hard in the off-season to come back my sophomore year.
So his first time trying out, he got cut from the team, but how did you see him change from the second time he tried out when he made it?
You know, his footwork in particular changed immensely. You know, he again was just buying into what I was asking of him. You know, coming out of high school, I'm not sure how much coaching he actually had at the goalie position, but he picked up things quickly and improved a lot. And his stick skills have come a long way as well. I think that is certainly evident. His outlet passing has improved even just over the course of this season. I think his outlet passes and his confidence have really increased.
Could you talk about how tough it was having to come back from being cut to knowing you had to get mentally and physically prepared to try out again?
It was tough. I just kind of put it behind me and just pretended I was just a first year and started over, really. I knew the guys, which made it a lot easier. Coming out, I wasn't so shy, and I was friends with them all mostly, so it made it a lot easier in that aspect.
How have the coaches helped you become the goaltender you are?
Coach Kuhn works with me every day in practice, and I literally credit all my success to him. He's taught me everything I know, and really has shaped me to the goalie I am today.
What sort of things has he taught you?
Everything: clearing the ball, positioning, just mental toughness, literally everything. Him being a goalie himself, he knows all the little tricks, and he really has taught me a lot.
Anthony was obviously very motivated, hardworking, to work so hard in the off-season and make the team again. How do these qualities help him as a goalie?
I think a huge part of it is confidence. I mean, you know, just getting in the cage and playing with confidence. You know, obviously his first year, he's a freshman, and it's tough to make the squad, first of all. Since he's matured, I think that confidence has come, and that's because of the hard work. You know, and the guys see him get in there. You know, in the summer tournament this summer, he played fantastic, and I think that's when it really started, and people were like, oh yeah, Tony can play, he's changed his game, and it's carried right over, and not only does he have confidence in himself, but the hard work, the guys see it. He's one of our best lifters in the weight room, and the guys see it and build off of his confidence, so in return, they're confident in him.
What skill of yours are you most confident in as a goalie?
I would have to say my mental toughness, and how if they do score, I just kind of wash it out and forget it and move on. And maybe the motion I play with, I feel like my team likes that and kind of hopefully feeds off it.
Is that something you've always been able to do, just brush off goals, or is that something you came with practice?
Yeah, ever since middle school, I've kind of always had that mentality. Just if a goal goes in, it's just try to get the next one. And yeah, I've always played the game, a lot of emotion, and try to have fun out there. I mean, that's the whole point of lacrosse. I feel like just have fun.
Welcome back to SportsZone. It was March 17th, and the season had just ended, and for 4 RIT seniors, so had their college hockey careers.
But Shane Matalora, Cameron Burt, Daniel Spivak, and Scott Knowles didn't sulk long before the East Coast Hockey League came calling. Melissa Bromley caught up with the four to discuss their pro experiences.
With the season ending on such a sour note with Air Force, what was the transition like for you guys to go play in the East Coast?
Once we lost, I was obviously pretty devastated because I never thought that I was going to be playing hockey ever again. I thought that was my last game ever, and it was pretty emotional for me and everyone around me. But a week later, I was just lying in bed one morning, and my friend calls me and he said, "Hey, would you like to play some pro hockey?" I'm like, "This is a joke. Like, this isn't funny." No, he's like, "No, seriously though, Kalamazoo wants you to come play in the East Coast. He's going to call you in a couple of minutes, head coach." And he gave me a call and he just said, "Can you be out tonight to Chicago?" It was a dream come true for me, so it was real low, but then a real high within a week and a half, so it was pretty cool.
I got a phone call from Brenner, and he's like, "Yeah, do you want to play?" I'm like, "What do you mean, do I want to play?" He's like, "Well, we need some D-men, and I told the coach that that you're pretty good." So he's like, "So he's gonna call you in about 5 minutes." And after that time, you just get out of the dressing room, and you got your bags packed, and you're kind of all sour. Then all of a sudden, you get a phone call from a coach like, "Hey, can you fly in tomorrow morning?" You get home at like midnight, and it's like, "Tomorrow morning?" I'm like, "What do you mean tomorrow?" It's like, 10 o'clock? Sound good? It's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna book your flight and fly right away." So you don't really have that transition of like, "Oh, I finished hockey." It's kind of like, hey, jump right back into it and raise up that intensity again.
We lost on Saturday and then sort of hung out on Sunday and got a call and sort of said there's a couple teams interested, and then went from there and picked Stockton to start with, just to get my feet wet, and then ended up going to Vegas after that and played a couple games one game in Stockton and one game in Vegas just to get ready and see what it's like. The pro game is a lot different from the college game, so just to see what it was like and ready for next year and get more options for next year as far as what we're going to do for them.
The transition was a lot different, like going out there and playing. Like, you weren't around the guys all the time. Like, you go to practice and then sometimes you might not see the guys for the rest of the day, but they welcomed me in good. I played with a guy that used to play here, Al Mazer, so it was good to see him again. But it was a different style of hockey, but it was good to get out there and experience it and trying to move on.
What was one of the hardest things about going and playing pro for you guys?
I think the hardest thing was just it's a whole different game than college hockey. These guys play 3 games in 3 nights, or even less. You'll play 7 o'clock Friday, 7 o'clock Saturday, and then a 12 o'clock game on Sunday.
I think I played 12 games in 16 days, so it's like I'd play that amount of games in a month and a half in college, and it was rough.
What kind of contracts did you guys each sign? Were they kind of tryout contracts? Did you know how long you would be gone for?
Me and Scott, we both signed the same contract. It's called an ATO, an amateur tryout. So basically it's for 10 days and they pay you based on per day, or they add up all the amount and they give you the money at the end. So that was the kind of contract. It's basically just a 10-day tryout contract.
5-10 years down the road, where do you guys see yourselves? Do you see yourselves still playing hockey?
And in the wear and tear and stuff like that. But hockey's given me so much, and it's been such a big part of my life that I want to take as much as I can from it, as long as I can, and stuff like that. But hockey's given me so much, and it's been such a big part of my life that I want to take as much as I can from it, as long as I can.
20 some odd years of your life. So you play, 20 some odd years of your life. So, it's the best thing you're good at, so.
When I'm older, 10 years down the road, I'd like to be coaching a team, just volunteering or something, but I don't think I'll be playing professionally. I'll probably be using my MBA somewhere, but this game's given me 20 years of fun so far, and, I can't ask for anything more from it. In another year or two would be great, but I'm reasonable. 5 to 10 years down the road, I'll be living my life.
I'd love to be doing something with equipment or like designing equipment or something with like a big name company or something like that. So it's just how opportunities present themselves, and only the future can tell.
Welcome back to SportsZone. Regardless of the sport, athletes want to compete, even when they're injured.
But as Emily Clark discovered, sometimes they need to listen to their bodies and recognize when an injury might be something much more severe.
Sophomore Carly Strodes didn't exactly have a passion for running in middle school.
I was in 7th grade when I started running. One of my friends was on the cross-country team. She talked me into joining it with her, and I kind of slowly fell in love with it. It was a bit of a love-hate relationship at first, but I grew to love it. Did it all through middle school and high school, and then decided to take it to college level.
Although competing at RIT wasn't part of her original plan, Strodes joined the team as a freshman, but soon discovered something wasn't right.
I remember the very end of my senior year starting to notice some weird symptoms, but I kind of just thought that that was normal fatigue, that I was pushing myself to a level that I'd never pushed myself to, and that it was a normal feeling that maybe everybody felt that. And then about like halfway through indoor season here at RIT was when I really started thinking, okay, something's not right. I was in a lot of pain. My legs were going numb, feeling very weak, and one of the girls on my team, like I was telling her about my symptoms and she said, yeah, no, that's not normal. I noticed that there was something wrong probably in December of last year, and then it wasn't until this November that I was diagnosed. So all that time I was going and seeing different doctors, trying different training methods to see what was wrong with me. I was told a lot that it was just shin splints, that it could be a stress fracture, but I kind of always knew there was something more because they could not explain to me why I was getting numb and weakness in my legs, why my legs felt like they weren't working. So I knew that there had to be something more.
Her intuition was right. After seeing a number of doctors, she was finally diagnosed last November with compartment syndrome.
Compartment syndrome is where the fascia that encases your muscle compartments, when you use your muscles, they swell, and the fascia is supposed to expand with your muscle. But people with compartment syndrome, their fascia isn't expanding enough, and it's kind of cutting off circulation and restricting the muscle. I was scheduled to have surgery within like 2 weeks. They basically told me that not to aggravate my legs, so I stopped running up until surgery. Surgery was pretty relaxed. I just went in that morning. They prepped me and everything, and told me they were going to be making one incision in each leg. Recovery, I've heard it's kind of different for everybody. Because I had both legs done at once, I was on, I mean, you'd be on crutches regardless, but I was really on crutches because I couldn't walk on either of my legs. And it was just minor weight bearing. You had to keep your legs up for some time.
After a 2-month layoff, Strodes was back on her feet and back at practice.
How have you been feeling training-wise, and how have you been competing?
A lot better. It was a little bit shaky in the beginning just because I wasn't in as good of shape as the other girls, obviously, because I'd been off all year. But I am just starting to get back into it. I'm definitely happier with my legs and how they're feeling.
Do you notice any type of pain once you get the surgery? Is it something that's gone forever, or can it kind of come back?
It definitely can come back. I've heard of cases where it does come back. I do still experience some numbness if I push myself to that limit. Pain, not as much. Like, I definitely wouldn't say I'm 100% cured of it, but it's definitely an improvement.
So did you ever have a change of attitude towards running? Did you ever think about stopping just because you thought it would be better for yourself, or was it always your goal to just keep going and get better?
I think a lot of it was the fact that I just really love running and I didn't want to give it up. And I was determined to find out what was wrong with me. I wasn't gonna just give up and stop doing what I loved.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like running has a new importance in your life now?
Yeah. I think I maybe took it for granted before. The feeling of running without pain, like I think I took that for granted a lot. So now I definitely have more appreciation for it. Maybe days before when I woke up and didn't want to run, I don't feel like that anymore because I know what it's like to not be able to.
Well, that does it for this edition of RIT Sports Zone.
Don't forget you can stay up to date with SportsZone by following us on Twitter and liking us on Facebook.
So until next time, thanks for joining us in the zone.